Republicans and future Republicans, lock in, boys and girls. It's a crazy day. It's an insane day. So today, Donald Trump absolutely crashed out on Vladimir Putin. He was like, Putin, you're a piece of garbage. All right, he didn't exactly say that. Out of all 7 swing states, what do you have, Putin? Barely 2 swinging balls. Anyway, he crashed out on Putin, blasted that man to oblivion and back. And things are getting wild. For the full context, there was an assassination attempt on Putin, and apparently after that assassination attempt, Putin is going mad. He is going crazy, and according to Trump, he is no longer the same Putin. So we're looking into the Trump-Putin situation, and then we are going to be looking into Marco Rubio answering difficult questions in the Senate. Marco Rubio is the Secretary of State of the United States. He popped into the Senate where every single Democratic congressman gathered around him and tried their best to tear him to shreds, but he annihilated them. God, this is like one of those days that it's like good to be an American, you know what I'm saying? Because holy shit, the right people are in power in America. Anyway, lock in, boys and girls. Let's see where this goes. It's gonna be crazy.
In the meantime, we want to keep you here for just a second. But first, let's check in with the President of the United States. He's speaking over in Morristown.
All right.
Not directly, but indirectly, something to do with the bill. The one big, beautiful bill.
Beautiful bill.
Big, beautiful bill.
It's beautiful.
And so I think the Senate is going to get there. I hope they're going to get there. I think they're going to have changes. Some will be minor and some will be, fairly significant. But we've been working with the House all the way up. They've been working together. And the Speaker has been working with the leader of the Senate. And, they've done a great job. John Thune and Mike Johnson have done a fantastic job.
What a bill.
They've been working together all the way up. So hopefully that'll be fine.
It's crazy that he answers and talks to reporters on the tarmac before entering his plane. Like, he is always there to talk to the press. It's crazy.
Under federal investigation. Do you have a comment on that and how that should impact the mayoral election coming up?
No, I was surprised. I didn't know exactly. I just read about it just like you did.
Oh.
Having to do with Andrew. I've known Andrew, and we've had an on-off relationship. He was saying the greatest things about me. I'm the greatest president, etc.
I love when he does that. I love when he does that, bro. Oh, my God. I walked in and everyone was like, wow, the greatest president of all time. And I was like, I didn't say it, but I'm glad you did. I thought it, to be honest. But I wouldn't self-glaze like that. They said I'm the greatest president, not me. All I did was win all 7 swing states. If you look at the map is red for Republican.
And then the next day it hit us. But I did a lot for them. I brought in the ship during the COVID crisis. I brought in the Mercy ship. And
then I thought about it, and I was like, oh my God, he was so right. I am the greatest president. My penis is so huge. Ask Melania. She said it, not me.
I built about 3,000 units in the Javits Convention Center, and he didn't use them. I don't understand it. He wanted them, but he didn't use them. But I hope it's going to be okay. I hope it's not going to be serious for him. Let's see what happens.
You spoke to European Commission President von der Leyen. Did you discuss the 50% tariffs, and did you agree to reduce?
She just called me, as you know.
Ooh.
And she asked for an extension on the June 1st
Ooh.
date. And
everyone wants an extension. Everyone's playing the game. It's Trump's world. We're living in it.
Said she wants to
I didn't say it. They said it. Asmongold said it. I didn't say it.
Get down to serious negotiation because I told you specifically, but I told anybody that would listen. They have to do that. And we had a very nice call, and I agreed to move it. I believe June 9th would be, July 9th would be the date. That was the date she requested. Could we move it from June 1st to July 9th? And I agreed to do that. And that she said we will rapidly get together and see if we can work something out.
Another question. You announced on Friday about U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel.
All right. I love how they're asking him like the easy layup questions in a second. Then they, I think, get to Putin, and it's going to be crazy.
Ownership structure look like? What made you?
And you have to see the Senate Okay, I didn't see the whole Rubio Senate thing, but the Senate attacks him for Ukraine, and he's like, "Well, what the fuck do you want me to do?" And he flips the table on them. God, it's insane.
It'll be controlled by the United States. Otherwise, I wouldn't make the deal. I went to the unions, to all of the local unions. They all wanted it. And I'm doing it because all of the congressmen came in, about 5 of them, and the others, I understand, are in concurrence, and they asked that I do it. Everybody seems to want it, and we'll see. I mean, we'll see what the final is. But they're going to invest millions of dollars in steel, and it's a good company. Nissan's a very good company. We'll see. But it's an investment, and it's a partial ownership, but it'll be controlled by the USA.
Of course.
President Trump on Saudi Arabia.
It's almost like he cares about the United States of America, unlike the other party. I forget what they're called.
Yeah, you came back with a lot of investments. There was an American who's stuck there and facing a trial for tweets. His family want you to intervene and ask the Crown Prince to let him go. What do you think about that? I
haven't heard about it at all. If you give me the information on the plane, are you on the plane? Give me the information. I'll see what I can do. Do you think he's okay?
I'm a reporter. I can't say no.
He's asking the reporter his opinion. That's amazing.
Recommendation?
No, I'm not. Okay.
Well, then maybe I won't do it. I don't know. You tell me, the way you posed the question,
he's so casual. It's crazy.
You assumed he was okay. What did he do, supposedly?
He sent some political tweets about Saudi Arabian politics.
Were they bad?
He said he approved of renaming a street in D.C. It was fairly innocent stuff by American standards.
Let me take a look.
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy!
And Ukraine as well.
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people. And I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time. Always gotten along with him. But he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all. Okay?
Damn. Oh, Lord, that's strong language. He doesn't usually go that hard. Holy.
Middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised.
Bro, that is crazy. That is insane. He went really hard, man. Apparently he made this tweet also. What Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, lots of bad things would have already happened to Russia. And I mean really bad. He's playing with fire. Holy shit, he's going hard. Oh my god, he keeps going. I didn't realize he tweeted so much about this. I've had a very good relation with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He's gone absolutely crazy. Yeah, attempted suicide might do that. Attempted assassination. He is needlessly killing a lot of people, and I'm not talking about soldiers. Missiles and drones are being shot into cities in Ukraine for no reason whatsoever. I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it. And maybe that's proving to be right. But if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia. Likewise, President Zelensky is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it. It better stop. This is a war that never would have started if I were president. How does he fit that into every time he talks about it? This is Zelensky's, Putin's, and Biden's war, not Trump's. I am only helping to put out the big and ugly fires that started through gross incompetence and hatred. Holy shit, he really went off. God damn.
Very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you?
Am I going to tell you what you're going to freaking news? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do about Putin.
Fake news, aren't you?
Fake
You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
Damn.
Can I follow up on that? A Russian commander reportedly said that Putin was almost caught in the middle of a drone attack from Ukraine. So do you have any...
I haven't heard that, but...
Yeah, apparently that's big news right now. There was an attempted assassination of Putin, Ukrainian drone that they shot down.
Maybe that would be a reason. I don't know, but I have not heard that.
President Trump, Secretary accepts acting chief of staff is a Biden administration holdover who has said some very critical things about you and Vice President Vance. Did you have thoughts on that?
Who is the chief of staff?
Britain Korea.
I have no idea who he is, but if he did say that, I would recommend that we don't take him.
If he's shitting on me, I probably don't like him.
I mean, if he did say something like that, I would recommend we don't take him. But let's see. I'll take a look. Korea, I'll check it out. Yeah.
On Harvard, do you think you'll come for their endowment in any way or go after financial?
Oh my God.
Well, look, part of the problem with Harvard is that there are about 31%, almost 31% of foreigners coming to Harvard. We give them billions of dollars, which is ridiculous. We do grants, which we're probably not going to be doing much grants anymore to Harvard.
Base.
But they're 31%,
Base.
but they refuse to tell us who the people
Base.
are. We want to know who the people
Wow, they refused to give him the list. Oh my God. I covered this actually, the Harvard situation in my yesterday's video about the schools that are finding out. Yeah, insane.
Now, a lot of the foreign students we wouldn't have a problem with. I'm not going to have a problem with foreign students, but it shouldn't be 31%. It's too much because we have Americans that want to go there and to other places, and they can't go there because you have 31% foreign.
He's right.
Now, no foreign government contributes money to Harvard. We do.
So why are my taxpayer dollars going to Harvard paying for 31% of their students that are coming from, let's be honest, China and Qatar? All right, let's be real. That's where that shit's coming from.
So why are they doing so many? Number one. Number two, we want a list of those foreign students, and we'll find out whether or not they're okay. Many will be okay, I assume. And I assume with Harvard, many will be bad. And then the other thing is they're very anti-Semitic. Everybody knows they're anti-Semitic.
Yeah, you can watch I pulled up receipts for that one on my last video. You should definitely check that out if you're interested in the school system.
And that's got to stop immediately.
President Trump, Secretary, are you in? New York Post.
Oh, well, I like the New York Post. I like Keith Poole. Okay.
Oh, okay. Like, you could see his face because he thought he was going to say New York Times.
Well, I like the New
Wait, look at this.
President Trump, Secretary, are you in?
Who are you with? All right.
New York Post.
He starts with New York and you see his, like, face drops. I bet you he thought he was going to say New York Times. And then he's like, oh, Post, not Times. Okay.
Well, I like the
That's
New York
awesome.
Post. I like Keith Poole. Okay.
Secretary...
Now I'm going to be nicer to him. I didn't know he was with him. Go ahead.
Secretary Benson said that we don't
I'm going to be nicer to you now. Holy shit.
need to return textile manufacturing to the United States. How do you see, like, a lot of your reciprocal tariffs? They're pretty big on those low-income countries.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. We're not looking to make sneakers and T-shirts. And we want to make military equipment. We want to make big things. We want to do the AI thing with the computers and the...
Mr. President is not beating the boomer allegations. Ah, yes, investing in the AI thing with the computers. It's gonna be crazy. Yep, that's my president.
many elements, but the textile, you know, I'm not looking to make T-shirts, to be honest. I'm not looking to make socks. We could do that very well at other locations. We are looking to do chips and computers and lots of other things. And tanks. And chips.
Tanks are great. Everyone loves tanks.
Chips, yeah.
You mentioned you were happy with the talks with Iran. Will there be another round of talks soon?
Very soon. The Iran talks. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I can tell you the Iran talks have been going very well.
And you said you're unhappy.
All right.
I'd love that to happen because I'd love to see no bombs dropped and a lot of people dead. I really would like to see that happen.
Yeah, I am on Trump with this one. Like, there's a lot of different opinions in regards to Iran. You know, I think that them developing nuclear weapons is off the table. It's dangerous for the world. If the biggest sponsor of terrorism on the planet gets nuclear weapons, that would be a fucking nightmare. So, by any means necessary, they need to not have nuclear weapons. I am just praying that it's not through war. I just pray it's not through war, like Mr. President Donald Trump wants. But goddamn.
And I think there's a good chance that it could happen.
You mentioned you're unhappy with President Putin. You've talked before about putting more sanctions on Russia. Is that something you're considering more seriously?
Absolutely. He's killing a lot of people. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Bro, he is mad at Putin. Holy shit.
What the hell happened to him, right? He's killing a lot of people. I'm not happy about that. Go ahead, what else? Anything else?
Anything else? Is that all you got for me? Y'all call yourself reporters? No one's gonna ask me about the price of eggs or the Qatari jet?
There was just a person arrested for attempting to plot in Israel to throw Molotov cocktails on
Oh,
the
yeah.
U.S. Embassy office. And
That's another thing that happened. There was a guy that was arrested attempting to firebomb the U.S. Embassy in the, classic. That's our guy. Yep, he was arrested because, that shit's terrorism. Only people like Hassan Piker supports that.
Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
The person also reportedly, who's a dual German U.S. citizen, issued threats against your life. If you
Against
could-
my life?
Against your life, yes, sir.
We've got a lot of them around. Got a lot of sick people
Oh,
around. Thank
shit.
you very much, everyone.
He's right. He's right. He's so right. Against my life? There's millions of those. Holy shit. Anyway, I felt like getting the context for Trump's state of mind on the Ukraine situation as well as other things is pretty great. Also, I had to show you this tweet because while I was looking through his tweets about Putin, I found the greatest tweet maybe of all time. I told Canada, which very much wants to be part of our fabulous Golden Dome system, that's the missile defense system that they're getting from Israel, that it will cost $61 billion if they remain a separate but unequal nation. Unequal nation. But it will cost $0 if they become our cherished 51st state. They are considering the offer. This is fucking crazy, man. This is a crazy tweet, bro. I don't know how he gets away with it. Holy shit. Oh my god. Listen, America is gonna be a dome nation, Canada. What do you want? You want huskies and people with sticks? Or you want a dome? Anyway, I wanted to talk about Marco Rubio's trolling of the Congress, because this is one of the funniest situations of all time. So this individual by the name of Don't Walk Run Productions on YouTube, I'll link him in the description, he made a video basically going over the best moments of Rubio absolutely slapping down, annihilating, and humiliating Democrats in the Congress. And I really felt like it's important to talk about this. Because on the one hand, making fun of retards is one of my favorite things to do. And secondly, I think making fun of retards is healing America. Every day, America gets a little more healed every time a retard is made fun of. We have to stop with this suicidal levels of empathy. Oh, you're a retard. I'm not going to call you a retard. Calling you a retard would truly, it would go against my moral virtues. My moral compass goes against me calling retards retard. No. Pussies. Cowards. We call retards retards, especially if they're in Congress. Lock in, boys and girl. You're about to lose your shit.
This is Marco Rubio.
That's Marco Rubio. Oh, and also, I'm just calling it right now. Marco Rubio will be president of the United States. I think that there is a higher chance of him becoming president in the future than Vance. He has been absolutely killing it. All right, this dude's awesome. I think he's, as far as just the future goes, I think that there's a bigger chance Rubio will be president than Vance. I'm not saying in 2028. 2028, I think it's more likely that Vance will be president than Rubio. But as far as just the broad future, like, give him another 12 years, he'll be president.
States Secretary of State. In addition to being President Trump's chief foreign affairs advisor, Rubio is the acting national security advisor, the acting administrator of USAID.
He does everything.
And the acting chief administrator of the National Archives. Recently, Secretary Rubio sat down for several hearings in the House and the Senate and alluded to the fact that he's currently a man of many hats.
All right.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here on behalf of the National Archives, and in addition to...
We don't have time for you to list.
Okay, well, we'll focus...
We don't have time for you to list what you do, says the wonderfully kind, polite person of the Democratic Party that would never use the term retard, because that's derogatory.
...on state today. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today.
Well, at least Rubio has a sense of humor about it.
Yep.
Democrats, on the other hand,
refusing to...
Well, you know. Retard is becoming a slur against Democrats? That's crazy. That's a crazy take.
Stay until every member has questioned you for 5 minutes.
All right.
As entitled to under House rules.
All right.
Are not the standards to which we hold the Secretary of State. Now you're not only the Secretary
God, look at this man. This man, his face looks like a quivering butt plug. Look at this man. He's shaking. Right. So why are you wasting his time?
That you have the responsibility to do. So how much time do you spend at the other jobs? If you spend every day...
Mr. Rubio, you do not have time to list all your jobs. Now I will list all of your jobs.
...day at the State Department?
Great question.
Well, now you know I can't offer you 8 hours today to answer every question on this committee, which
destroyed him. Oh, Lord.
you were complaining about earlier.
He killed him. He murdered him. He just fucking killed him. What are you going to do about that? It's like you're wasting my time talking about how I have little time. Holy shit.
Former member of Congress, Secretary Rubio knows what to expect. And he'll be damned if he's just gonna sit there and take their bullshit.
Did you anticipate or did you want, when you were sworn in to be the Secretary of State, do you want to have the jobs of USAID administrator?
No, I did not apply for those jobs.
Did not apply
I was
for them.
asked to serve in those roles, and I'm happy to do it. The
Sounds like a good American. Am I right?
archives are doing great. The USAID has been folded under state, so it's a sort of a duplicative role.
Based.
And the National Security Advisor, which is on an interim basis, has
Based.
tremendous overlap with what we're doing at the
He's
State
murdering.
Department.
He's
Well, then
killing.
why not get rid of all of them and just put everything under you? Get rid of all those departments.
Yes. Let's fucking do that. Let's fire all the fucking freaks in the government that don't do shit. Yes! Yes! I completely agree with this take. You're so right, Representative Meeks, ranking member of the Democrat retards. Correct! We absolutely should fire people that aren't doing their job. Wow! He's saying it sarcastically and incredulously because, remember, these people don't want you to be able to fire useless people in the government. But yeah, if you can, you should.
As if Congressman Meeks and the Democrats would allow such a thing.
Of course not. They're the ones fighting against these firings. You gotta understand how fucking insane this is, right? The entire way this has been going so far is essentially Trump wanted to cut people that weren't doing shit. Doge wanted to cut people that weren't doing shit. Democrats were freaking out that you're firing federal employees. Like, yes, that is exactly what we want.
Getting rid of all the departments would be amazing, though.
On the issue of Ukraine, here's what we can all agree on. There is no military solution to this crisis.
Right.
It will have to end in a negotiated settlement. And the fundamental challenge we have in Ukraine is this. Russia wants what they do not currently have and are not entitled to.
Yep.
And Ukraine wants what they cannot regain militarily.
Yep.
And that's been the crux of the challenge.
I've been saying that literally every single time someone asks me about the Russia-Ukraine debate. Well, yes, I agree. Russia's the aggressor. Absolutely. No doubt. 100%. But you have to look at reality for a second. And politicians are scared to look at reality. Every single time I hear someone talking about this from, like, let's say the Ukrainian perspective, literally every single time I see someone talking about this from the perspective of Ukraine, it's like, but Ukraine deserves all their land back. It's like, you're right, in a just world, there would have never been a war, 100%. But they're not getting their land back. It's not happening. Putin will not give it up, and they cannot conquer it. So let's embrace reality for a second. It's sad. Sometimes reality's kind of shitty, but that doesn't mean it's not real life. It's sad, but that's life.
I don't disagree with that at one level. But on the other hand, what Vladimir Putin is doing now is playing for time. And he's playing this president like a fiddle. And the longer he plays...
Well, that's your opinion.
The more opportunity he has to gain territory in Ukraine, and the harder it's going to be to get him to the table.
Now, notice, Trump is trying his best to end this war every single day. Every single time Trump talks about this, literally, he tries to get this war to end. I don't remember Miss Shaheen over here shit on Biden for not doing anything. You realize that this war was going on for 3 years before Trump became president. And now everyone's like, every day that this war lasts is a day that's bad and awful. I can't believe Mr. Trump is doing this.
But
what we need to do is to put pressure on Vladimir Putin in every way we can.
That'll help. Absolutely. That'll help. Wow. Professional negotiator, Miss Shaheen.
To ensure that we can get them to the negotiating table.
I should note that during the first 2 years, 10 months, and 29 days of the war...
I said 3 years. My bad.
Under President Joe Biden, Senator Sheehan never called for the White House to put pressure on Putin to get him to the negotiating table.
Nope. Now it's a Trump problem. It's Biden's war. Never would have started if I was president. But you have to recognize the fact that this Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch never said anything about Biden. Did not care about Biden. What are they supposed to do? They're gonna be like, Putin, you're a bad guy. Stop the war, you slimy scumfuck. And then Putin will be like, holy shit, they're so right. No! Welcome to real life. Real life is not always glamorous. And I feel so bad for people in Ukraine that are going through this shit, obviously, but you have to realize that in reality, concessions need to be made. Because that's what growing up is all about. And a lot of people don't like that. And she is using this as an excuse. In my opinion, she is standing on the mountain of corpses in this war. All right? She is standing on the mountain of corpses in this war, trying to grandstand against Trump, because that's what she's doing. Because she doesn't give a shit about the war. She doesn't give a shit about the actual idea or about the negotiating. She doesn't care about any of that. She is a complete retard for just going through this line of questioning when she had nothing to say about Biden.
Not even once.
The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
Well, I disagree with this playing with a fiddle analogy, because the truth of the matter is when Vladimir Putin woke up this morning, he had the same set of sanctions on him that he's always had since the beginning of this conflict, and Ukraine was still getting armaments and shipments from us and from our allies, and the European Union is about to impose additional sanctions, and the U.S. is looking for no Patriot batteries to be able to transfer from other NATO nations into Ukrainian hands. And what the president's trying to do is end a war. He's trying to end a bloody, costly war that neither side can win.
That would have never started if he was president.
I think
people are dying every single day. And so, but this notion that I don't, what has Putin gained throughout this? He hasn't gotten a single concession. He hasn't gotten a single sanction lifted.
And the more time he gets,
he got 3 years. He got 3 years under Biden, and now she's so worried about time because Trump was president for 3 months. Oh, he's getting so much time, and Trump is giving it to him. And in my opinion, also this is a Nux opinion, and you have to take this with a grain of salt, obviously, because I think this is a psyop. Pay attention to the Democrats. Pay attention to the media. They keep trying to plant these seeds that Trump is a Russian agent, and that he is a Russian operative that is trying to help Russia. And they do this every time. This question is a question you could have asked to Biden for 3 years, but you didn't. And now that Trump is president for 3 months, is Trump really just buying them time? Is he really on their side? Like, look at this line of questioning and tell me this isn't evil.
without additional pressure on Russia, the more incentive he's got to continue to gain territory and continue to play for time.
So Biden had nearly 3 years of allowing the Ukraine war to persist with zero effort.
No pushback. He just gave them billions and didn't try to end the war. Yep, giving billions of dollars of military equipment and no diplomacy absolutely proved to work.
To bring both countries to a ceasefire or a peace agreement. But now that Trump has been in office for 4 whole months, he's being accused of not doing enough. F***ing clown world.
No, really. I think they should be called retards. I think we need to make this very clear. They should be remembered for history as retards. All right? Listen, to be fair, the Democrats probably didn't want to ask him hard questions because he had cancer, and they probably all knew about that. Anyway.
They probably
didn't want to ask him questions about why he isn't proceeding with diplomacy because, well, he wasn't actually in charge of the country. Probably. Yep. Anyway.
We're negotiating with Vladimir Putin.
All right.
Is he a war criminal?
It's such a fucking retard question every single time. I hate these people. They don't want peace. They don't want peace. These people do not want peace. Oh my God, it's insane. It's painful to watch. If you can't call the guy a war criminal, then try to bring him to a diplomatic table. That's not gonna work. Like, he just wants to say this because he knows that this goes against peace. But he doesn't care because he wants to hear Trump's people say that he's not a war criminal so that he can label Trump, once again, label Trump as a pro-Russian asset. I'm telling you, it's the strategy that they use, and it's disgusting. And it's anti-peace, it's anti-America, and it's evil.
Well, I think you can look at instances that have happened there and certainly characterize them as war crimes, but our intent is to end the war.
Is he a war criminal?
We can't end the war without talking to Mr. Putin.
That's pretty simple. Is he a war criminal?
Well, that's
this man we're negotiating with, Vladimir Putin. Is he a war criminal?
Why is he fucking doing this? Does he not know anything about diplomacy? Well, the answer is no. But even if he did know about diplomacy, it doesn't matter. He's doing this to make a point. He's doing this to put into the minds of America that Trump bad. He's doing this so CNN could have a headline, Trump refuses to call Vladimir Putin a war criminal. That's why he's doing this. And it's so painfully obvious.
It's not tough.
But what? I'm trying to answer your question by telling you that we're trying to end the war here.
Go ahead.
No,
You're
it's not a
equivocating.
simple answer.
You are equivocating, sir. Just answer the question.
I'm answering your question, and the answer is that war crimes have been committed, no doubt. And who's responsible for that? There will be time and place for that accountability. But right now, the job is to end the war.
So you won't answer the question.
If we don't end the war, people are going to get
Reclaiming
killed.
my time, sir. Let me go on.
This is such a This is the freak show. Reclaiming my time. I know you're busy. I know you have a million things to do in the government. Reclaiming my time to get another headline for CNN. I'm telling you, these people are complete retards.
Because I don't understand this.
Of course Bill Keating doesn't understand. I mean, look at him.
Bro is 2 years before Bidening.
Secretary Rubio knows that you can't conduct diplomacy with a man you're accusing of being a war criminal.
Obviously. No shit. Everyone on the planet would say this. Did you ever play a game of Monopoly? Ever play a game of Monopoly? And while you're playing Monopoly, you want to offer a trade. You want to trade one of your properties for somebody else's properties in Monopoly. But before you instigate a trade, you accuse them of cheating and stealing money from the bank. And you're like, you're cheating? You're stealing money from the bank? This game doesn't matter because you're a bad guy. You automatically lose even if we win. Anyway, can we please trade properties? Do you think that's going to work? The answer is no, because everyone on the planet knows that you don't call someone a war criminal if you're trying to make a diplomatic agreement with them. No shit.
But at the same time, Rubio isn't specifically saying that he's not a war criminal.
Now you're unmaking him a war criminal, and you won't answer the question about the exact same circumstances.
You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm reclaiming my time, sir.
You're putting words in my mouth.
And you know what you said to Secretary Tillerson at the end?
He didn't say that. He didn't say that he's not a war criminal. How are you this retarded? How are these people this retarded? Do they feel... they're like just sore losers, right? They're just furious. They're mad as balls. They hate the fact that they lost, and they're humiliated, and they're clowns. And that anyone that watches this is just embarrassed on behalf of half of America. Well, less than half of America. Because, you know, more than half of America actually apparently does have common sense.
Of his answer when he equivocated just as you are right now?
I'm not equivocating.
You didn't equivocate anything.
You said,
you just don't let me
sure
answer.
Sounds like it to me. Then I'll give you...
It sure sounds to me like the thing that you didn't say is exactly what I'm saying you said that you didn't say. Got him there. Got him there, Keaton.
Your second chance. Is Vladimir
never gave me a first
Putin
chance.
war criminal?
I already told you war crimes have been committed.
No, you didn't tell me if he's a war criminal.
Holy shit, he can't talk.
Chairman, am I allowed to answer questions?
I'm reclaiming my time, sir, and listen.
You asked me a question.
Reclaiming my time. More time for stupid questions.
Then you reclaim your time, so how can I answer the question?
You answered it. Listen, let me go forward with this. 3 questions.
Or are you going to reclaim your time on those two?
Are you going to reclaim your time on those two? God, Marco's fucking cooking them. Like, dude, how could you watch this and be like, yes, the Democratic Party absolutely seems like they are in full control of their mental faculties.
I'm giving you a chance to answer. Give me a chance to ask the question.
Bro, what the fuck is even happening? This is like watching those debates on YouTube. Where it's like you have some guy talking the entire time and interrupting the whole time, and then the other guy is like tries to say something and it's like, I let you speak this entire time, now let me talk. You know what I'm talking about?
Here it is.
So Congressman Keating spent so much time on nonsense that he ran out of time.
I reclaimed my time 7 times and didn't have time to ask a single question.
And then he got angry when Committee Chairman Brian Mast allowed Rubio to take a moment to finish his answer.
Nice.
The last point is, our goal is to end this war. We have to be able to talk to both sides in order to do it.
Chairman.
In order to be, we have to end this conflict.
My time is answered.
Holy shit, he doesn't stop.
His time answering my question ended too. It's the next person's time.
He is so mad. He's so fucking mad. He's just sitting there crying in Congress. Doesn't want reality. He just doesn't want Rubio to actually be able to explain himself.
That's the rules in this committee. When you won't even let a person enter into the record.
Can someone kick this guy out? Just kick him out. These kindergartners don't need to be in Congress. This is freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean, that's not the freedom of every single person to need to hear this guy yelling and screaming like a little bitch. Like, how could you possibly support the greater Democrat Party when these people are literally caught mauling in 8K?
Something from our ambassador till recently from Ukraine, Ambassador Brink, who resigned because of the conduct of this administration after 30 years of service, sir.
You should keep a better eye of the clock in front of you. Your time expired. Continue.
Sir, are you aware of the time? Are you yeah?
Our goal is to...
That guy won an election, by the way. I'm telling you, no one knows who the fuck is the Congress people in their own districts.
end this war so more people don't die. We just want people to stop dying. Every day this war goes on, people die, things are destroyed, and lives are ruined. And we want it to stop.
Now, if you thought that...
Pretty respectable stance, I would argue. I would argue pretty respectable.
Congressman Keating was bad, here's Congressman Brad Sherman losing his mind.
Wait, it gets worse? There's no way, bro. Dude, fuck.
Well,
it's like an actual... This is an actual circus.
Have a nuclear cooperation agreement with the United Arab Emirates and Turkey and Morocco that all provide for a gold standard of safety.
All right.
Can you assure us that you will not enter into a nuclear cooperation agreement with Saudi Arabia that does not have that same gold standard of security to make sure they're not building a nuclear weapon?
Well, first I will tell you that there has been no conversation about entering into one. For example, during the recent trip.
Can you? I've got limited.
Why did they not let him answer his questions? Oh my God!
So here's the thing. I can
Sir,
tell you.
Either give me a yes, give me a no.
I'm going to give you my answer if you want my answer.
I want a yes
this is not
or
a
no.
game show.
Reclaiming my time.
Well,
it is a game show. I think people don't realize how this game is played. The game is played where they ask a pointed question, and then when you refuse to ask it with a yes or no, they say reclaim my time, so that you can't actually continue on that same line of questioning, all right? And the reason why this is done, essentially, is so that this person could push a narrative forward. That is exactly what's happening. Like, these are all NPCs, right? They even have NPC shoe on head sitting behind him. All right? Like, they're all NPCs. They're sitting there. They ask pointed questions that cannot be answered with a yes or no. They immediately reclaim their time to push a narrative forward that, yes, it seems like Trump actually wants Saudi Arabia to get nuclear weapons, which obviously, no, they don't.
Reclaim your time, but it's not a game show. I get to answer. These are complex questions. Let me answer.
Mr. Secretary, I'm reclaiming my time. The filibustering takes place in the Senate, not here.
I'm not
This is crazy. This is crazy. It doesn't stop.
I'm trying to answer your question.
You're trying. Let's go on to the...
Dude, how do people not realize these people are fucking clowns?
The next question. Can you assure us that you will continue sanctions on Iran until they verifiably agree to abandon all enrichment? That's a yes or no question.
No, it's not.
Holy shit. This is crazy.
Not.
Well, can you give me a yes or no, or should I go on to the next question?
We believe that Iran should not be allowed to enrich uranium. Correct.
You believe that it should...
we believe that an acceptable deal with Iran is one in which they cannot enrich, because if they can enrich, they can weaponize.
Make a nuclear
I know
weapon.
Why we don't want... I asked you, will we agree?
Yeah, that is such a good answer. It is such a good answer. He asked him, essentially, do you want Iran to get a nuclear weapon? And he said, no, we will do everything to stop Iran from using a nuclear weapon. Everyone around him, look at them. They're all suicidal. He is surrounded by people that want to kill themselves by being in the same camera as this guy. This is insanity.
Agree. Will we continue the same?
MSNBC headline, Rubio fails to answer questions. What?
Sanctions until they verifiably agree to get rid of
you have no worry about us. The worry was the previous administration. This administration has been...
refusal to give me an answer.
This is insane. By the way, Biden essentially put Iran on the path to get nuclear weapons.
Is loud and clear.
No, well, I'd like to answer
reclaiming my time.
Dance, my monkeys! Dance, my monkeys! Look at these people. They're amazing. Clown World stopped being a joke a long time ago. No. This is incredible. This is why I believe that the United Retards of America have come together to oppose Orange Man. Like, you have to recognize, like, you saw how Trump was talking to reporters, and then you see these jammering, stammering fucking retards saying you refuse to answer the question while he's in the middle of talking.
He might be reclaiming his time, but all he's done is waste it. I mean, asking if Trump is going to be tough on Iran?
It's a bullshit question because everyone knows this is happening. It's all for the narrative setting and for the headlines. That is literally what they're doing. It's like clip farming.
And seriously?
The Boston School of Public Health has a kind of a website where they post their estimated deaths as a result of the actions that were taken to dismantle USAID. And they're updating it continuously. So you go to it, the numbers keep changing. They have a one-year estimate, but they also have what they estimate has happened to today. Your action to cancel these contracts, your contracts in this fashion, freezing fund, firing individuals, has resulted in the death of hundreds of thousands of children.
Oh my God, I hate this narrative. It's such a lie. For those of you that are unaware what this lie is, this is a popular hoax where people are saying cutting down on USAID is killing hundreds of thousands of children around the world that were being kept alive by American taxpayers. That's his line of questioning. There is no evidence that hundreds of thousands of children around the world died because Trump decided to cut off Ugandan circumcisions and fucking Iraqi Sesame Street shows. All right? This is bullshit. All right? This is a scam and a lie. Mr. Rubio, what is the square footage of this room? Yes or no only, please. Mr. Rubio, what's your favorite color? Answer in yes or no. Answer in yes or no. I'm reclaiming my time.
That's false. That's fake. That's just not.
Oh fuck yes! What a god! What a goat! What a goat! He's right. It's fake.
True. That's a study.
It's a lie.
If we canceled every one of these programs permanently. Okay, and I'm reading it right here because I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, tracking anticipated deaths from USAID funding cuts. It turns out if they cut all USAID funding over a long period of time, people could die. That is what the study is. But they are labeling it as you killed hundreds of thousands of people. It's evil.
It assumes a near total freeze in U.S. foreign aid for HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and other diseases. There is not a total freeze. 85% of PEPFAR recipients are receiving their care right now.
Oh.
But the numbers you're saying, those aren't real numbers. I understand that's what...
Yeah, he lied. He just lied. He went up to Congress. He is standing there asking questions to the Secretary of State, and he is lying. I think he's a traitor. He's betraying his people. He is betraying his freaking people. He is pushing these lies, talking about how, Trump killed 100,000 kids in Malaysia. No, he fucking didn't kill 100,000 kids in Malaysia's. Like, stop.
The school said in the worst case dramatic scenario, and even then I think it's exaggerated, but there's just no evidence of the fact that, I don't remember what the numbers are, 100,000 children have starved to death in the last 4 months because...
And, like, the most annoying thing is they ask questions this way so that I can be in the headlines. Right? That is why they do this. That's why they ask questions. It's the same thing they did in Canada, like a year ago. Canada genocide. You're probably gonna freak out that you're even hearing about this. Like this, you're going to lose your mind. Sri Lanka summons Canadian envoy over genocide monument in Ontario. Genocide by starvation. Canada's crimes. All right. Wait, I have to show you this. Genocide unmarked graves. I'm telling you, this is like one of the biggest scams of all time. Literally. Look at this shit. Denying our truth. Fighting residential school denialism in Canada. From Al Jazeera, of course. Al Jazeera, the Qatar propaganda agency, is condemning Canada for being genocidal against Native Americans. International tribunal to investigate missing children. All right? Canada finds more unmarked graves. Now, the reason why I'm showing you all of this is because Canada, 751 unmarked graves found at residential school. This is all pushing a narrative that there was a massive genocide in Canada where they would just murder children and throw them in pits. None of this is true. It's all fake. All of it is fake. Literally every bit of this was fake. They didn't find one body. All right? They did not find one body of one of these children that were genocided by Canadians. Okay? This did not happen. This is unequivocally false. You could do the research yourself if you want and read any of these articles, except for Al Jazeera. I wouldn't trust them. But anyone else, you could read them. None of this happened. This is not true. All right? If you look it up, you see this shit. This is a scam. This is an actual scam. It turned out, by the way, if you want more research on the 751 unmarked graves found at a residential school, they were Christian graves. Christian graves, all right? Where with wooden crosses that over time eroded. And that's why they weren't marked, because the crosses made out of wood eroded over time. And they were using this to push a narrative. But why would they title their articles like this? Cultural genocide, the shameful history of Canada's residential schools mapped. And you know what the map is? That it didn't happen. It did not happen. This is a lie. This is all a lie. Why? It's to push this guilt narrative. It's to push this bullshit guilt narrative every single time. It's to get the good thumbnail, the good title, to push your agenda. And that's what they're doing here in the fucking Senate.
The United States made reductions to USAID. Well, that first of all is pretty atrocious. That would mean that nobody else in the world is doing anything. We're taking care of the entire planet.
Pretty.
Wait, let me get this straight. So if we stop USAID, everyone in the world dies. So wait, hold up. That means no one else is doing anything? Holy shit.
Pretty much. And to Democrats, it's never enough.
No, sir.
We do more food aid than anybody in the world. And we're doing more today than anybody in the world.
Secretary, I'm reclaiming my time.
I love these people. They're fucking clowns. That's the question. He answers the question, bro. Pops the fuck off.
You are speaking in generalities. I'm talking about specifics.
I'm speaking in specifics. We do more than anybody in the world, and we're doing more than anybody in the world right now at this very moment.
That's hyperbole, sir.
It's not hyperbole. They literally are doing more than anyone in the world. America is doing more than any other country. For random impoverished nations around the planet, what are you talking about?
Because this has been disrupted because of your freezing of aid.
Who is disrupted? Show me the dead body. Come on, stop with this.
There's more food aid than the United States.
Sir, why are you asking me questions? My job is to ask you questions.
He's not allowed to. This is insane. Look at these people.
And that's claiming that
Secretary,
we're not.
I'm reclaiming my time.
You've activated my trap card. Time reclaimment.
Secretary, I'm reclaiming my client.
My climb.
Next up is Senator Van Hollen.
Oh, this is going to be good. For those of you that don't remember Senator Van Hollen, this is the retard that went to El Salvador to sip margaritas with a terrorist. Oh my God!
Who you might recognize from his well-documented trip to El Salvador to visit Maryland man Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Senator.
The guy that went to sip martinis with a terrorist regrets voting for you.
Secretary of State. I yield back.
May I respond?
You may sit.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job.
Hello, table. Let me introduce you to my meat.
Based on what I know.
Well, that's just a flippant statement, Mr. Secretary.
Can I respond, Mr. Chairman?
That's a flippant statement? You say I regret voting for him, but he says that's a mark of confidence? That's a flippant statement? These people could dish it, but they can't take it. Holy shit.
You may.
I didn't ask
Senator, please let the Secretary have
I'd be happy to, but then I can respond to his...
Your time's up, Senator, and willfully used, I might add.
First of all, I'm actually
Senator, you wasted your time.
Very proud of the work we've done with USAID. For example, I don't regret cutting $10 million for male circumcisions in Mozambique. I don't know how that makes us stronger and more prosperous as a nation. Well, I can go on. I mean, there's other things here. We spent $227,000 for Big Cat's YouTube channel from USAID.
Bro, stop.
We spent $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, whatever the hell that means. So I can go on and on. I got the list here, and there's more. I didn't even bring the whole list.
Then Rubio addressed Van Hollen's pet project down in El Salvador.
Oh, shit. Oh, God. He's going to kill him. He's going to murder him. Oh, my God. He's going to kill him.
In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members. Gang members, including the one you had a margarita with.
Oh, death on the timeline. 911, there was a murder in Congress. Oh, Lord.
And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear in the days to come. You're going to see who you went to defend.
Senator, please, Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make
The chairman's just like, shut the fuck up, Van Hollen.
unsubstantiated comments like that.
Unsubstantiated?
Unsubstantiated? Oh my God! Stop!
Data claims. We've all seen the...
This just in. Next question will be questioning Marco Rubio for murder!
Evidence, Senator. For example, here's Maryland dad caught on body cam video during a traffic stop in 2022. The Department of Justice states that Abrego Garcia was transporting 8 men.
I didn't know there was camera footage for this. I heard about this, obviously it was in the news that they caught him transporting 8 illegals. But I did not know. I did not know they had footage!
All without luggage from Houston, Texas.
Yes, yes. Interesting. Transporting 8 illegal immigrants without luggage from Houston, Texas. Tell me this isn't trafficking.
To Temple Hills, Maryland, to perform construction work.
He's hauling these people for money is what he's doing, but
Dude, even the cops at the time, they knew. There's no question.
8 people in there.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know that. They put an extra row of seats in there.
Yeah. So he's getting paid to all these people, probably to Maryland, I would say, if I had my guess.
Well, that aged well.
And what's crazy is when the Tennessee highway...
So this guy, who is a fucking bitch, and they fucking knew he was trafficking people for money. Let's be real.
Patrol processed Abrego Garcia's driver's license. It was A, expired.
Dude, stop.
And B, contained a note to inform federal officers because of his alleged affiliation with MS-13.
There's no fucking way this happened, and they let him get away with it. I cannot believe Biden was a president of the United States. It's still like, I feel like that those 4 years, they'll be like in the history books, you know? Like, it's like asking Germany what happened between 1939 and 1945, and the Germans are like, what do you mean? Nothing happened between 1939 and 1945. I feel like that's going to be my response when people ask me who was president between Trump 45 and Trump 47.
And when they notified ICE, ICE declined to take Abrego Garcia into custody. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Where in the Constitution does it say that the Secretary of State can override the First Amendment protections of...
Do you see how fucking gross this shit is? Do you see how crazy this is? Like, the question that she's asking is, why is he deporting terrorist supporters that are not citizens of the country? But she has those crazy eyes, so obviously she is not going to ask this at all. Could you override freedom of speech?
Free speech. Is there a footnote that I missed
There's
somewhere?
no constitutional right to a student visa.
So it...
Wow! He is so good at responding to these! Oh, I'm sorry. I should have been silent. A black woman was speaking.
But is there a constitutional right? Does it say somewhere that Marco Rubio gets to determine which speech is appropriate and revoke student visas based on what you think constitutes free speech?
What the fuck is she talking about?
There's a statute that says the Secretary of State gets to determine whether someone is a threat. We deny visas every day all over the world.
Do you think that the Immigration and National...
They silenced his mic! Wait, I didn't even know that they could do that in Congress. Wait.
Determine whether...
Look at this.
Someone is a threat. We deny visas every day all over the world.
Do you think that the...
Did you hear that? They silenced his mic? I'm in shock. I'm not making this up, right?
Do you think that the...
Look.
Do you think that the Immigration...
They cut his mic.
and Nationality Act trumps the Constitution of the United States, Mr. Secretary?
Well, Congress can always change the law if you want, but I'm telling you,
Mr.
in the meanwhile, I have the authority. I will continue to revoke the visas of these people that come here to tear this country apart.
You said that, Mr. Secretary. Let me reclaim my time because you are talking about revoking student visas based on what somebody says, and that...
You could revoke student visas based on whatever the fuck you want. It's completely arbitrary. What is she even talking? She doesn't know anything about the law. How are these people representatives in Congress? This is crazy. Let the man speak.
Means that you are trumping the legal Supreme Court, the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution of the United States.
No one.
Why did the administration?
Yeah, no one has the right to a student visa. That's not a right. If you have a student visa, it could be revoked at any fucking time. Like, this is insane.
Mr. Rubio, why did the administration...
Nothing like shelling out 50 to 100 grand a year to attend a university, only to have your entire campus taken over by a bunch of radicals screaming about a war that you had nothing to do with.
True.
As far as I'm concerned, you can round them all up and send them to Gaza.
Based? Oh, Wait, hold on.
Nothing to do with. As far as I'm concerned, you can round them all up and send them to Gaza.
Fuck yeah, dude, yeah, he's so right. He's so right. Damn. I don't give a shit, man. I don't care. Stop. Why are they there screaming, globalize the Intifada? Which means just kill Jews around the world. Let's be real. That's what it means. Globalize the Intifada. These people are insane. Holy.
Gaza. In early February, the president announced a special refugee program for Afrikaner farmers.
How are they going to twist this one? I don't even know how on earth you could possibly twist this.
Justified, A, by some concerns about South Africa and foreign policy, but B, a claim that these were persecuted individuals.
First of all, he let 50 people into the country, all right? 50 refugees. Under Biden, there were 20 million illegal immigrants, and no one questioned Biden. No one asked him anything. Are these people insane? What is even happening? 50 white people, they lose their mind. Let me remind you, white people are being murdered in South Africa. Literally killed due to racial prejudice. They are being killed. This is insanity.
So right now, the U.S. refugee program allows a special program for Afrikaner farmers, the first group of whom arrived at Dulles Airport in Virginia not long ago, while shutting off the refugee program for everyone else. Do you think Afrikaner farmers are the most persecuted group in the world?
What the fuck question is that supposed to be? Oh my God.
I think those 49 people that came certainly felt they were persecuted, and they've passed every sort of check mark that had to be checked off in terms of meeting the requirements for that. They live in a country where farms are taken and land is taken on a racial basis.
Correct.
Correct. That is a fact. And if you didn't see my incredibly good tweet the other day, which you should definitely go follow me on Twitter. If you didn't see my incredibly based tweet yesterday, I'll catch you up on the news. So this is the president of South Africa. You might remember him from last episode of Retard Detected.
For us. And when it comes to the issues of arresting anyone for any slogan, that is a sovereign issue. It's not a matter where we need to be instructed by anyone that go and arrest this one. We are a very proud sovereign country that has its own laws, that has its own processes.
Okay.
And we take into account what the Constitutional Court also decided when it said that, that slogan, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, is a liberation chant.
Yep! Screaming, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, right? Kill the white guy. It has nothing to do with killing white people, all right? And to quote Nuxanor on Twitter, when we say kill white people, it has nothing to do with killing white people. Great opinion there. Yes, he's spitting facts.
In January 2025, the Expropriation Act 13 of 2024 was enacted, which allowed South Africa to seize ethnic minority Afrikaners' agricultural property.
Yeah.
In response, President Trump signed an executive order that, among other things, addresses the Expropriation Act and announced that through the United States Refugee Admissions Program, Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination would be prioritized for humanitarian relief, including admission and resettlement. But the left will claim that when black South Africans, referring to white farmers, chant and sing, "Kill the Boer," that you shouldn't take it literally.
True.
It's all for fun.
It is. Don't take it literally.
I assert that this claim that there's persecution of Afrikaner farmers is completely specious. Are you aware ever during the apartheid era in South Africa did the United States establish a special program to allow South African blacks who were treated as second-class citizens in the apartheid program, a special program that they could claim refugee status in the United States?
No, because I was probably in 9th grade or 8th grade.
Yeah, then I don't expect you to know. I'll just tell you, never has there been a program. We've never allowed a special program to allow Africans into the United States in an expedited refugee status until now.
So Senator Tim Kaine is concerned that these African refugees aren't the right kind of African refugees.
True!
So
he basically said the quiet part out loud. It's like, listen, we only care about refugees if they match the skin color that we require. Yep. So, in that case, we don't really care if we murder white people because, it doesn't count. Nice.
But I think but I'm going to ask you, what, so a well-justified fear of persecution?
Yeah, they thought that their farms were being burned down and they would be killed. I think that's a pretty good justification.
They're murdering them and taking their farms! What are you talking about? How did this person sit on his fucking podium and talk from his high horse?
For wanting to come. They're afraid for their lives.
And should it be applied in an even-handed way? That's an easy.
No, our foreign policy doesn't require even-handedness. It requires prioritizing the interests of the United States.
The phrase says you are entitled to entrance as a refugee if you demonstrate a well-justified fear of persecution.
No, you're not.
This is crazy. No, it doesn't. He just made up a law. He just made up a law.
So can you have a different standard?
All right, Afrikaners, quick, put on blackface. Put on blackface. They'll accept you. Come on, do it.
Based upon the color of somebody's skin, would that be acceptable?
Well, I'm not the one arguing that. Apparently you are, because you don't like the fact that they're white.
He's spitting. He's spitting.
That's why they're to say that would be unacceptable.
Well, no, I would say that the United States,
a very easy thing
the United
to say.
States has a right to pick and choose who they allow into the United States.
Even based on the color of somebody's skin.
You're the one that's talking about the color of their skin, not me. These
are
people whose farms were burned down and they were killed because of the color of their skin.
God, he fucking cooked them. He destroyed them.
Just remember, folks, diversity is our strength.
Right.
Unless it's that kind of diversity.
Ew, white people.
Anyway, here's future Vice President Marco Rubio to close us out.
All right.
Our immigration policy should be based on the national interest of the United States. Period. End of story.
Based.
If there is a subset of people that are easier to vet, who we have a better understanding of who they are and what they're going to do when they come here, they're going to receive preference, no doubt about it. There are a lot of sad stories around the world. Millions and millions of people around the world. It's heartbreaking. We cannot assume millions and millions of people around the world. No country can.
Anyway,
he's completely right. He's absolutely right. And that's why, I don't know, I think he's going to be president of the United States at some point. I really do. He's spitting. He handled himself so calmly. Literally so freaking calmly through all of this shit. Like, literally, through all this shit, all the people flinging poop at him, asking him those dishonest questions of all time. Like, this dude, not even gonna lie, he spat. He spat straight facts. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed. I know I did. We covered lots of Trump-Putin shit, lots of Congress being retards. We made fun of retards today, so it's a good day. Subscribe. We will keep making fun of retards if I have anything to say about it. And I'll see you in the next one, gamers. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.